Hi, this video module will review how to add section breaks to a Word document so that you can format the page numbers appropriately. For our example, I took this information from the catalog for the MA program, and it gives us an example we can follow. And so it requests for the final thesis proposal that the page numbering use lowercase Roman numerals for the preliminary pages. This would include the title page, committee approval sheet, and abstract, which are all counted, but the Roman numerals should not appear on these pages. Other sections in the preliminary pages might include a preface, table of contents, list of illustrations, or a list of tables as well. And then it asks that the first page of the text start with page 1 being an Arabic numeral. So I'm going to go ahead and share a sample document that we are going to revise to follow these instructions. So you see a sample ePortfolio document on the screen now. And right now it does have a number 1 on the title page. And we're going to just kind of scroll through. I went in and added a potential committee approval sheet, an abstract, and a preface. And then there would possibly also be a table of contents and list of illustrations, but for this video, the next page then starts with the actual text. So one thing I wanted to point out that might be helpful for those of you who may have a document that you've been working on, perhaps you need to go in and if you go to the insert, and this is showing Microsoft Office 2010, as the example that we're using. From the Insert tab, if you go over to the page number and click the drop down arrow, one of the options is to remove all page numbers. And sometimes it's easier to start fresh with a clean document, or you can kind of make that decision as we go along with the information. But I'm going to go ahead and remove all. You can see with the header and footer open that this has a header section 1. And the way you tell Word to have areas where you want different types of page numbers is by adding sections. So this is the title page and it is section 1. And now we come to the committee approval sheet and it is still section 1. Our abstract is section 1 as well. And now we get down to the preface, and that is where we actually want to start with our Roman numerals. And this is section 1. So I want this preface to be in a new section so that I can tell Word that I want to have a page number here. So I'm actually going to scroll to the previous page. And if I close the header and footer, put my cursor here, it's helpful to turn on this reveal and show the formatting in your document. And so I can see that I have a page break. If I put my cursor here, I can actually go in and go to page layout. And if we go to breaks, you'll see they call it next page. It's also sometimes called a section break, and it says this inserts a section break and starts the new section on the next page. So I'm going to insert a section break. And so we can see here is that section break we just inserted. If I scroll back down now and click in the header area, it opens the header and footer. And I can see now that this previous page, where the abstract is section 1 still, but now my preface page is in a section 2. So I can now insert a page number. I'm actually going to go over and say that I want it at the top of the page on the right hand side of the screen. So I'll select this option. And we can see it actually put in a number 1, and we don't want that. So all I've done is go in and clicked on the number, and now I'm going to tell Word that I need to format the page number. And when I click on that, this little dial-up box opens, and at the top is where I can select the number format. And remember, we wanted to have lowercase Roman numerals. So I'm going to click that. But you'll notice that it's at the bottom, it's starting at Roman numeral 1. And if you remember from our instructions, it said that although the title page, committee approval sheet, and abstract are counted, the Roman numerals should not appear on these pages. That is why we are starting with a section 2, but they're counted. So this is actually going to be Roman numeral 4. So I can click the little area with the up arrow to move the numbers up to Roman numeral 4 and select OK. And now we can see our preface is numbered with a lowercase Roman numeral 4. So now the next section that we want to have numbered is the beginning of the text in this example. So the next page starts my text, but you'll see this is still section 2. So it is connected to the section with the Roman numeral. So once again, I need to add a section break. So I'm going to put my cursor below the preface title there. And I'm going to go to page layout again. And once again, we're going to go to breaks. And I'm going to insert a section break. And now we can see it continued. Here's my Roman numeral 4. And it continued that numbering. But if I go in, I can double click in the header. And now I can go over and tell Word that I want to format this number. And for this number, I want it to start with an Arabic number 1. And then I need to make sure that I say that it's starting on page 1. Click OK. And so now I have a number 1 where my text starts. And I just want to scroll up and confirm that nothing else changed and everything looks good. And so now, if we start at the top, oh, that page number is still there. We can do different first page. And now my header section 1 has no number. And this committee approval sheet is still section 1. Abstract section 1. And then we have a section break, and our preference begins with the lowercase Roman numeral 4. And I might have more sections to this section 2 that would be in the lowercase Roman numeral. But for this example, the next page starts our text of the document. And so it is a new section, and it is numbered with number 1 here. So that is some basics on adding section breaks to your document to change the format of page numbers. And we can review real quick again on the ribbon up here. So if you are in with the headers and footers closed in the text of the document, under the Insert tab is where you can find page break. There's also an area for page numbering, and that is where you can select the location, and you can also select to format the page numbers or remove page numbers. From page layout in the ribbon, there's also an area to add breaks, where you can select from a page break or a section break. And then if you highlight and are in the header and footer, under the header and footer tools, the design tab opens up. And you also have page numbering here as well. So that is some basics on adding section breaks and page numbering. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. And I also put in here in the web links pod. Oops. There's a link here for basic formatting of Word documents, and this document is available on Campus Web from the Help Desk tab, the Help Files, under Microsoft Office Word. And this also gives you just printed directions of the information that is covered in this video. So good luck with formatting your Word documents. Thank you.